Hey, here we go. Time to get these little babies off because I need to clean them up and powder coat them and pull out the shafts. So let's do it. You'll need a 5/8 wrench. Fortunately, you can get onto them easily with the wrench. However, you will not be able to take them out until you turn, oh, hang on, let me turn this, whoop, wrong way, there you go. Turn that, and now the bolt will come out. So let's get these babies out of here and see what happens. Won't this be, really? Do you believe it? And I'm sorry guys, I really can't turn it off. It's customers. And it's just, I have not had a message all morning. Excuse me, I'll be back. Okay. Sorry about the interruption, not that you've noticed. Whilst I was waiting, I took the rest of the bolts out. Wasn't even the customer, it was my brother. But you kind of have to speak to brothers. Otherwise they stamp their feet and they cry. And he's older than me and he gets so upset. Right, I've taken the bolts out, as you see now. We just need to get this off of here. So using my baby hammer, which is one of my favourites, just tap that off. Now be careful because there is a gasket behind here. And that should, in theory, come out nice and easy. There we go. Oh, someone's been here before. Oh boy. Oh dear. Oh, they didn't have a, oh Christ. They didn't have the right size wrench, so they used a hammer and a chisel to tighten the nut. Oh, you fucking morons. All right, well, let's hope they haven't done any damage. I will grind these chisel marks out when I replace this bearing. Doesn't sound terrible, fortunately. So they've obviously been in here before. And let me just show you what I've got. Play with yourself for a minute. When you're doing the job, do it right. A big fucking ass spanner. Yeah, and it's the right size for that, although with that washer there, I'm not going to get to it, unfortunately. It's 1 7/8 inches. This isn't an expensive tool. I think this cost me roughly 25 bucks. So why would you do this kind of shit work? And what bugs me is there doesn't appear to be a shim or a seal this side. Maybe hang on, I'm sorry, I'm engaged brain cell. There would be a shim there, but I guess this side the shim wasn't required, but the seal in here will be. I'm waiting for those to arrive. So, well, my next task will be to take this apart, get this bearing off, clean this all up, clean this surface up. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do a great deal here other than center the brake rotor. I can't adjust the angle of the camber purely because I don't know what it's going to be fitted to, and I would need the vehicle to do that, and I would also need a lot more equipment than I've got. So I can just rebuild it, get it ready, and then the gentleman that has this particular vehicle may have to go to a specialist to actually put the shims in there. But you know, that's not a tricky job, providing you have the right equipment, which is not something I have. Everything in here looks good. Nothing looks in a terrible state. There's no rumblings that I can tell. But I don't get into the insides of these purely because I do not have the tools. I really do wish I did, but I don't have depth micrometers, flat stock. God, I can't even think of the right word now. It's not a torque wrench. It's to set the lash. You need the correct tool, and I don't have that. I'm just the guy doing this at home. So I would do the best I can for the guy, and I would clean up this shit mess. Good God, I can't believe he did that. Why can't you, Gary? There are morons out there. That's true. Talking to myself again. Trouble is, I argue with myself and then I lose the argument, and that's really bad. How can you argue with yourself and lose your argument? I mean, with your wife you have to lose, but with yourself you could at least win once. All right, so that's it. That's off of there now. This will get cleaned up. The particular customer is bringing me some Pour 15 in a spray can. I do have it in a brush-on can, but he wants me to spray it, so spray it I will. And I will mask this up when I do spray it, because we don't want that shit getting inside, do we? Wow. Oh, and here, let me just show you. On the other side, there is this shim. And, oops, hang on, you spin it round to the right way, dum-dum. Gum-gum-dum-dum. And there you go. I'm calling it a shim. I'm going to double check, in case my memory's failing me, which it does quite often. I mean, it's not really a seal, but whether it should actually have that. I'm curious now. I am curious yellow yet again. I got to check that out. My memory is failing me, but not totally, but it won't let me rest until I check this out to see whether or not this is a shim, a spacer that is required. I think it should have that. And the only reason I'm saying that is because of the shafts. It shouldn't matter, because this shaft could be in a 1/16 of an inch or out a 1/16 of an inch. And I'm saying 1/16, you know, we're looking probably 25 thou here. It just bugs me. I'm not sure. I am not sure. And because I'm not sure, I've got to check it. That's the trouble with being an old fart. Things tend to elude you, and you then have to go. Well, fortunately these days you go to Google and YouTube, and you can find out all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to leave it here in pieces and check it out and see whether or not I need to buy something for that, because looking at the mess that's done here, it wouldn't surprise me if they forgot it. And the only thing I can think is that this would be in too far. My wife never complains about that, which is really disappointing. But there you go. My girlfriends used to. But we won't go into that, will we? Not unless we want to be divorced. No, I don't. No. I can't afford a divorce. Cheat. That's when you get the 50-cent divorce kit, guys. You know what that one is? Well, it costs 50 cents. I'm joking. Okay. I can't help myself. I get carried away, which is normally what happens when the guys with white coats turn up. So, that's... Oh, well, hang on. There's got to be one more thing here. Sorry, I'm going to move you. This is my next task. Remove this nut and replace this. The customer has given me some brand new ones. And I have marked it. Did I need to? Who knows? Dot there, dot there, dot there. Dot there important, because that dictates with this dot here when you're tightening it up. Now, on a lot of them, they have threads showing. As you can see on this one, there is virtually nothing showing. And that's so that you get the, when there's a crush washer in here, and that you set it back to the correct point. So that'll be interesting when I undo this nut and get this off. I'll try and film it, and I've got to turn this thing around, and it's a heavy beastie, so that may take me a few moments. So I'm like those stupid kids with their like this and like that and like this and like that and basically this and basically that and like. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm English. I have a English language, and I passed many English exams, and I get fed up with lazy language, and unfortunately it sometimes filtrates into your head and you end up saying stupid shit like, ugh. Ever watch an interview with any young-ish guys and girls? Count how many times they say like, particularly when they're being interviewed on television. Well, he was like this, you see, and then like that, and then I was over there like, and like that. Ugh. They just sound like retards. Now, I should mention here that this IRS I'm working on, I believe I mentioned, is from a XJ6. And it should be noted that there are 5 bolt holes to hold the brake caliper flange. There is also a shim here, which I really didn't see before, I must confess. And despite what the fucking monkey did with a hammer and a chisel, it probably was okay. This is a, well, I said probably okay, I can't even move the fuck, oh, all right, rewind. I can't move the bearing because I've just tapped the, come on. Jeez, my brain cell just died. The piece of fucking metal that holds everything to stop the nut from turning, what do you call it? Wow. It's the piece of metal that stops everything from undoing. Locking tab. Wow. Jesus Christ. So I can't move this bearing now. But the thing to note is that it is a one-piece bearing. And don't forget which way round it goes because of this little groove here. On the earlier models, it was a 2 taper bearing that pushed together and you had to get the preload correct. On this one, it's not quite so essential because it goes on and that's the end of it. There's no collapsible washer in here. There is a bearing, there is a seal, there is a lock tab. Oh, remembered it this time. And the nut. Now this nut, as you can see, is in a hell of a state. So I will undo it with the appropriate tool. Now I've got to say here, guys, that, you know, I got this because I'm led to believe that this is the correct size. 1 inch and 7/8. And whilst it will undo it, it's not a very good fit in my book. But maybe I'm just being a little too picky. I mean, I got this from AutoZone out here in the good old US of A. And as I said before, I think it cost me something like 25 buckaroos. Could I have got it from Snapple, my favourite toy shop? Yeah, coulda. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, no. For the amount of times I'm going to use this, no. And I really have no clue what that would cost from Snap-on. Maybe I'll look it up just for shits and giggles. But I reckon that's going to be a couple of $100. Now, do note with this the nut, the chamfer. That chamfer goes face down. And that's so that it sits nicely into the locking tab that he remembers the name of yet again. I hope you can see this. Now this, yeah, that mofo ain't gonna come off there no easy. I'm gonna have to get my bearing puller here to pull this off. But that's okay, that's not a big deal. And I'll tell you what, let's take that out of the way. And whilst I may pull this one apart prior to all my parts arriving, that's purely to make sure that I have everything I need. I will not touch the other one because I don't want to get parts confused. And it'll give me a chance to blast this and powder coat it. But, I'm not going to powder coat this surface purely because of this spacer shim that goes on there. I'll tell you what, guys, that bearing's a little on the rough side. It's got a got a point where it bites. If you can see that. Yeah, so this really does need replacing. The bearings are obviously cattle trucked. So yeah. Now it would probably wear in, but no, we're not. We don't play that game. All right. So my next trick now is to get this off with my bearing puller. Stand by. Now I'm going to get this bearing off of here. You could use a fancy schmancy bearing puller, but it's not on there, or at least mine isn't on there too bad. So I'm using this chisel, and I'm not hitting the shaft, I'm aiming past it. And maybe this will work. Guess what? If it doesn't, you ain't going to see this. It's a close but no cigar. And the pullers I have, unfortunately, I'm wondering, they may gotta be careful here, don't damage the shaft. Nothing worse than damaging your shaft. And believe me, my ex-wives damaged my shaft a lot. All the way to the bank. Parasitic bastards. Give me a second, I'll be back. Right, I've got this part the way off, but I can't get it all the way off. Hear that noise? That's not good. So I do have a bearing splitter, and need to get that splitter on there. Get the nuts up. Whoops. Get your nuts done up tight. Make sure you've got a good amount of thread so that you can pinch them up. Same on the other side. Now this tool, I own this tool, but you can probably rent one of these from your local car parts store. So just pinch this up. Okay, same here. Now then you insert these two parts. This is all part of the kit. And you know, you have to fiddle about a bit and get the right ones for the right length, and you know, you have to figure it out. You know, you have to use a brain cell. That probably hurts for a lot of you. Okay, I'm joking. Right, take nuts and washers off. It will all become clear, I promise. Slip this on. Line it up with the center of your shaft, and if it's girls watching, use your boyfriend's shaft and line it up. You know how it is, girls. Line it up, otherwise it doesn't go in easy. That's the easy bit. Now we need to crank this down, and when we crank this down, it should pull this up. So let's see what happens and see what I need. I may need to hold this in a vise, but I'm kind of hoping I don't. Oh, that was way too fucking easy. Yeah, there's going to be some problem somewhere along the line now. It's coming, baby. It's coming. Just like Christmas. Okay, there it is. All right, so let's just loosen these off. Don't lose your washers. And there she blows. And this is a ball bearing. Come on, race. It's not a taper bearing one. And it feels a little rough, so yeah, and you can see it. Yeah, it just, there's a few pits in there. It's not, maybe you can't hear that, but it's a little gritty. But do make sure you put it back on the right way, otherwise you're going to get screwed. Now this shaft I will now need to clean up, and I've got to replace this seal. They're on their way to me, so I really can't go any further with this. I am not sure, he says, whether I need to... Oh, there she goes. It's all right. Yeah, you need to... That's the seal that needs to be replaced. And I'm going to clean up this surface before I put it all back together. There doesn't appear to be any nasty grooves or anything horrendous going on there, so we'll give that a bit of a clean up, and then we will be good to go. And I'm just putting this all back together because I don't have any of the parts right now, and I want to make sure I know my ass from my elbow when it arrives. There you go. Hope that is of interest to you. This is how to replace the half shaft bearings and seals. No, we haven't replaced them, but you see how it comes apart. Shit, if you can't figure out how it goes back together, then really you should not be touching it. I'm sure you can figure it out. That is one thing I like about my subscribers. They're not stupid. They watch, they learn. You're good guys, girls. You figure shit out, don't you? That's how it goes. This is how we do shit. All right, so I'll tell you what, I'll see how many minutes I got on this one. Maybe I'll push this out, I'm not sure yet. And if I do, like, comment, subscribe, ding the dong, ding your dong, play with your dong. If not, you can come and play with mine, as long as you're a female. I don't let males play with my dong. It doesn't go that way. There you go. Like, comment, subscribe. Buy the right tool to do the job. Tain't expensive. Don't fuck with it. Alright guys, girls, thank you all for watching. As always, love you subscribers. Please keep coming. Tell your friends, tell your mum, tell your bum chum, whatever works. You don't have to watch my shit, just subscribe. Gets me numbers up. I like me numbers up. I like other things up too. Thank you. All right, this is the sign off. Please like, comment, subscribe. Now get out in that garage and do some shit.